So a lot of you might be new to growing carnivorous plants, and you may not know what to expect once plants have been in dormancy. It may feel like forever since the last time you saw your favorite plants, and when will it end? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you what it looks like when your favorite plants start waking up. Now, before we get started, there's one thing to note. Not all plants are going to wake up at the same time, and not all are going to wake up at the same speed. Keep that in mind when you are growing these plants and when you are waiting for them to arise. And I'll explain a little bit further in the video on some of the factors that will determine when it's time for them to wake up. The first one we have to talk about is Drosera filiformis, also known as the threadleaf sundew. Now, if you'll remember, as it starts to go into dormancy, it will form these little sort of pine cone looking things called a hibernacula. And that is what is holding all the nutrients. Now, it will stay that way for a few months, depending on where you live. But soon you'll have them to start opening up in the middle and show a little bit of green and then a little bit more. And pretty soon you'll have little tendrils starting to unfurl, and you will start having full-blown leaves coming out. Now, these are usually the first ones to go to sleep and the first ones to wake up. So this will be a good indicator, an early indicator rather, of springtime coming in your area. Now let's talk about the Venus flytrap. So in front of you here, I have a brand new division, but I'm going to show you this because one of the first things you'll notice for the Venus flytrap are these little tiny looking asparagus or cauliflower things in the middle, and those are the flower stalks. Oftentimes will be the first thing that they pop up. Word to note, if you have a small Venus flytrap like this, go ahead and cut that flower stalk off so that it puts all of its nutrients from that rhizome into growing you new growth. Now, what you have in front of you here is a brand new division from a Venus flytrap. The reason why I'm showing you this is you'll see right in the middle of it, there's this little asparagus looking thing or cauliflower looking thing. That is the flower stalk. That's often the first indication that it's starting to come out of dormancy. Word to note, if you have a small little Venus flytrap like this, go ahead and cut that off so it'll put all of its energy into its trap and not into the flower stalk. Now, the next sign is a little bit more subtle, but you'll start to notice all these little fly traps starting to open up and rosette from the middle of the plant. Now, it may have some of these that it sort of just holds throughout the winter, but you'll really start to see them pick up and start to open up, and pretty soon spring traps will start to emerge. Now, arguably probably the most dramatic of plants to break from dormancy are Drosera bonata. You see, they will die back completely to the ground depending on where you live, and for all intents and purposes they will look completely dead. But when springtime arrives, very rapidly they will start to unfurl their leaves like ferns here, and they will grow at extreme pace. It will be probably another week or so, and this will be completely unrecognizable. So before I show you a little bit more, let's talk about when will your plants come back awake. Depending on where you live is going to make a big determination on that. I'm here in Florida, and so the temperatures are already mild, so we're going to have a much shorter dormancy. But if you live somewhere that it gets freezing cold, there's a good chance it's going to take a little longer. Places on the East Coast tend to start seeing dormancy break sooner, the West Coast tend to see dormancy break sooner than on the East Coast. But here in Florida, it's pretty much tropical all year round, and so we're the exception to the rule. Either way, it doesn't take much time between coast to coast before you start seeing it. Only a couple of weeks, and your plants also will start to come out of dormancy. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about for this video is Sarracenia. Now, Sarracenia will look completely dead like you see here in front of you, but then they will start to produce a non-carnivorous plant called Phyllodia that will help them get a little bit more energy from the sun so they can put into that rhizome to get an extra push going into spring. And one of the first things that you're going to notice are flower stalks. Now, all these plants in front of you are very young, and so the chances of them flowering are not high, if completely zero. But if you had more mature divisions and more mature plants, those would be the first things that you start to notice. One thing you can do to help your growth is go ahead and cut back some of the dead pitchers to give them room to grow that phyllodia and their flower stalks. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on what to look for. It seems more scary, more complicated than it is. These plants have evolved over millions of years to develop this routine, this pattern, and they'll show you very quickly that they know what they're doing. And these plants will quickly go from looking completely dead to full of life in just a matter of weeks. Hope you have a wonderful day, take care, and as always, happy growing.